As teachers, we do not believe that we should just stand and share or give information. So since we only have basically 3 children, we're going to get you adults to talk too, because we have a session also dedicated to you adults. Okay. So we want you to talk. I have all the names written down. So we want you to talk. When I call your name, we want you to please start to talk. Okay. Now, the topic tonight is coping with change. Now, when you hear the word change, I want you to brainstorm. Tell me some of the things that come into your head instantly when I say change. So, Kara, I'm going to start with you. When we say change, what comes to your mind? Kara.
Adapting to new circumstances.
All right. She thinks about adapting. Very good. Your language is good. Lovely. Adapting to new circumstances. Samuel, tell me something that pops into your head. Not necessarily a definition. What comes into your head when we say change? Samuel. Yes, Samuel. Samuel. All right, he checking out on me. What about, let's go to Tony. Yes, Samuel. All right. Okay, Tony, when you hear the word change, what comes to your mind?
New experiences.
New experiences, good. Sandra?
Antonia has something to say.
Moving to a new city or family.
Pardon?
Moving to a new city or family.
Beautiful. Changing address, changing family dynamics. Very good. All right. 2 more, Sandra and Pat. Sandra, when you hear the word change, what comes to mind?
Okay, when I think about the word change come to mind, I think about me having to alter or kind of modify from what I'm currently doing.
All right, beautiful. Modify from what I'm currently doing. Lovely. And last person, Pat.
From what to what? Change from what to what? First thing that popped into my head.
Okay, change from something to something. Okay, lovely. Change from what? You're asking me a question?
Right. No, I'm saying that is what the first thing popped into my head. Change from what to what?
Okay, good. So you're studying changing from what to what, something to something. All right, good. Now, we came up with a few ideas because when we thought about change, these are some. There are many, many, but these are some of the things that came into our heads. So let's go. What came into our heads? Okay. Let's go. So we have the children there thinking. What came into our heads was a change of clothes. A change of clothes. So let's look at the left. And we're going to ask Kara, will you wear this dress on the left? Kara.
No, please.
Why not? Why not, Kara?
It does not suit me.
It doesn't?
I love that answer.
Really? It doesn't suit you? All right. So suppose no mommy on Sunday, we go to church on Sunday. Mommy says, Kara, you are going to wear this outfit on the left. What would you tell mommy, Kara?
I would have to wear it.
What?
Oh dear.
Okay, she's obedient. I like that. I like that. Okay. So we have a change of clothes. Now, the clothes on the left, those are clothes that Americans would wear back in the 60s. Now, we have a transition or shift of clothing moving. So we move now to a modern outfit. So if mommy had to give Carol this red outfit on Sunday, Carol would say, hey, mommy, yes, I like that. I prefer to wear that. So when we hear of change, we think about change of clothing, outfit. All right, let's get the next one, Annie. And we have 9 of these different changes we're looking at. Now, somebody said moving to the city. All right. So we could also have a change of address. And I chose these two houses, not only change of address, but a change in the structures of our buildings. Back in the 60s, Barbadians used to live in chattel houses. The young people will not know about those ones at the top, that red and blue one. That's a chattel house. We have transitioned now from this kind of house, thank God, because of better pay and better living conditions. We have transitioned now all the way now to big modern houses. And we have shifted, some people shift from country to town, others have shifted from town to country. All right. Next one. A change of class. And I'm going to ask a question. Let me ask Samuel. Do you enjoy going into a new class? Samuel.
Not really.
Pardon?
Not really.
Why not?
That means a new teacher
Right.
and new people.
Yes. So you don't like to meet new class friends and a new teacher. You like to have the same teacher?
Yes.
Huh? So you are just like this boy that I have chosen. He's supposed to go into a new class and he's angry. He's sad. He does not want to leave his old class because he would have had lots of friends and he liked his teacher. But very often, the very first day of school or the first week, children are excited. They want to know, who is my new teacher? They want change. Some of them, for whatever reason, them and the former teacher could not agree because sometimes the different personalities clash. So sometimes them and the former teacher can't agree. Sometimes they cry because it's like, I want back that old teacher. So this boy here, like Samuel, is kind of a little bit despondent, a little bit sad because he does not want to change class. However, we have another boy. He welcomes change. All right. So he's happy and he's smiling because he's glad to get into a different class. All right. What about the other one now? And Kara, I am at you again now because you should be in secondary school. Sometimes we have a change of school. And very often when you teach the children in class 4, and then common entrance has finished, they cry. Some of them cry. They say, I'm scared to go to secondary school because they hear a lot about bullying and they believe they're going to be mistreated. Now, Kara, I'm at you. I chose Lucifer because since your church is in that general area, I suspect some of your young people go there or are right there. So, Kara, how did you feel when you had to go off to secondary school? Which secondary school are you at, Kara?
I am at the large school.
Okay, the law school. Okay, so how did you feel when you made the transition into law school? How did you feel?
I was kind of nervous, but then I got excited.
All right, you got excited. So at first, the change made you nervous, but then you got excited about that change. Good. Now I put Christ Church Foundation. I have no affiliation with that school. Once again, I put it because it is in Christ Church with your church. Okay. So yes, sometimes we can have a change of school. All right, next one. What about a change in the body? And watch, I have a cute little boy. He just lost his tooth. His tooth is now growing. So right now, all of you, you are getting changes in your body. When Samuel gets older, his voice is going to crack. He's going to get a mustache. And you know, when they get around 40, you all get Samuel, when you get one little hair underneath your chin, you're going to be in front of the mirror. Oh, you think, mommy, look, I got hair. Oh, he's a man. All right. So changes are happening in your body all the time. And like Carol too, and Adeline, changes are taking place in your body. So you cannot stop change. You cannot stop change. And then all like Samuel at this stage, now they don't like girls at all at this stage. So even Samuel, now when you get 13 and 14, you're going to start liking girls. Why? Because that's how God has created you, to be attracted to the opposite sex, not the same one, the opposite one. And that's all right. That's because changes are happening to you. We have another one or two more. Change. When we think about change, what do we think about? We think about changes in careers. Now, our jobs, for some reason, we have mommy, their mommy is a secretary here, and for some reason, she may have to change jobs. Why? She may get fired, or what happened is that the job was not satisfying. So therefore, she says, look, I don't like this. I have my dream. My dream is to be a nurse. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start going back to school, night school, so that I can fulfill my dream as a nurse. So therefore, we can also have changes in jobs, changes in careers. Okay? Next one. We can also have a change in diet. And parents and adults, those of you who are listening to me as a teacher, it hurts me to see how our children are eating. Our children are eating or going to their graves through their mouths. Children diet, we can have a change in diet. Adults like us, after we get a certain age, we can't handle the weight. So what happens? We cut down from the sweet things. We cut down from the corn curls. And what happens? We get to eat more vegetables. Adeline, do you like eating vegetables? Adeline, do you like vegetables? You don't like vegetables?
No,
Why not?
because I don't like.
Oh, but do you know that vegetables are healthy for you?
But I want it.
But you don't want it. Wow. Well, Kara, you have to try to encourage her to eat her veggies, okay? All right. We can also have a change in what is happening now. 2 years ago, we were very comfortable and happy how we were. What happened? When pandemic came upon us, and what happened? There's a change. A change. Oh, the mask. I am so miserable in these things. They have me so uncomfortable. I hate them. And I tend to wear under my nose, which I should not, but I can't breathe in these things. So whereas before we were happy to enjoy the fresh air, because of the protocols that are in place, we have to wear our mask. And the last slide now we have is there is a change in school environment. So whereas before you were at school safe and sound and happy, hands up in the air. Yes, Tisha, I want to answer. What happens now? We are no longer at school in the physical plant. We are at home online. And I'm going to answer questions to the parent and to the adult. The parents, the adults, and the children. Parents, those of you who are at home with your children, when we have the online, do you enjoy having those children at home with online school? Be honest. Any parent at all, answer me. Be honest. We ain't getting nobody. Tony, you have a daughter at home.
I was at home though. I was at home when I had to be at work while she was home. So I had to trust that she was listening and doing what she was supposed to do.
So therefore, a question, Tony, do you prefer the children to be online or at school?
Of course, I prefer them to be at school. To me, it's better structure.
Exactly.
You're sure that somebody there to say, are you paying attention, right? But
right. So Tony, therefore, you like the physical plan because if you leave your daughter to herself, 17, 18, she ain't going to school too regular. So I prefer the at school, the physical. A child now, Carol Lodge, Carol, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer the online or do you prefer the physical plant? Kara.
I prefer face-to-face.
Face-to-face. Why? Give me one reason why.
So I can see my friends and I will focus more.
Very good. Beautiful. Beautiful. And don't mind all the talk that is out there. Teachers prefer face-to-face because with the online, we find that the children are not picking up the concepts as quickly. And when they come back face-to-face, it is very challenging. So therefore, changes are all around us. And let me tell you something. We cannot stop changes. Changes will happen from the time we born until the time we die. So now we are going out. Andrea is going to come in now. And let me tell you, I want you children, adults, listen carefully too, because at the end, we are going to have a quiz. We have the quiz created for the children. So since there are more adults in than children, adults, you are going to have to participate in the quiz too. We promise you it is going to be easy. So pay attention. Okay? So Sister Andrea, you can take it from there.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Before I begin my segment, just to round off what Auntie Sharon was sharing with us, we are going to move to a short video. You can let me know if you're hearing it.
Yes. All right.
All they do is eat. And after a week or two.
Right. Now in this video, we have a caterpillar, okay? The caterpillar is going to metamorphosize or change into a butterfly. Now, before it does that, remember the caterpillar is ugly, an ugly creature. Andrea don't think it is ugly, but I think it's very ugly. However, watch, he attaches himself to a limb and he changes into a chrysalis, all right? He changes into a chrysalis. He stays like that for approximately 2 weeks. So even though he appears to be dead, changes are taking place on the inside. We cannot see them. Changes are taking place on the inside. Eventually, after 2 weeks, the butterfly emerges. Remember changes? The butterfly emerges into, or the caterpillar, I should say, emerges into a very beautiful insect. Now, whereas we do not like the caterpillar, I believe everyone loves butterflies. And this butterfly is called the monarch. Very bright orange, black, and white. So even though we may not like change, change can emerge or evolve into something very beautiful indeed. All right? Very beautiful indeed. Okay, Andrea.
Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the illustration with the butterfly. So tonight our topic is dealing with coping with change. And as we just recognized, all of us experience or face change in different ways. Just to give you a short little definition, change can be considered a transition or a shift from one state, one place, one environment, etc., to another. And you would have had some examples given earlier. You're moving from something that is old or something that is familiar and comfortable, and you may be moving to something new. So that's what change is all about, transitioning from one thing to another, as I think Sister Sandra said earlier. And when you were sharing earlier, I heard, I think it was Kara said that, you know, she was a little bit nervous and then she was excited as she went into her new school, the Lodge School. But at this time, I want you to tell me some of the emotions you associate with change. When you are experiencing change or faced with something new, how do you feel? You can unmute and you can let me know.
You know, we don't like quiet classrooms, so I'm going to call Antonia. Hope I have that right. Antonia, that question is for you.
So tell her what you said.
Pardon? Antonia, what feelings do you associate with changes?
I don't like change very much, but I will try to adjust to it. So I just feel uncomfortable.
Oh, right, good, lovely, and comfortable. What about Auntie Pat, Sister Pat? How do you feel when you hear the word change?
Right now I'm still, how should I put it? I'm still going through a process right now, changing from being married to being a widow. So it's like scary.
Yes, I understand that because that is a major change as well. Thank you for sharing, Sister Pat. I think we have a Rolanda in. Rolanda, yes, what about you? Is Rolanda there?
Seems that somebody just dropped out. Let me see if it's she's under Shepherd. Rolanda? Oh yeah, it seems that she probably, yeah. So yeah, she's not there now. See if when she comes back in.
Okay, what about Christine?
I don't. Christine is an adult. I don't know if she's gonna share with us.
That's okay because we don't have that many children, and it is okay for the adults to share as well. All right, if we don't have any adult ready to share, let's continue.
I can say sometimes it makes me feel anxious because I'm not sure of what is going to happen, so that makes me anxious.
Exactly. Okay, very good. Thank you for sharing.
I can also, okay.
Go ahead.
I was saying that if it's something I desire, I'm excited. And if it's not something I desire, I'm a little cautious.
That's right. Okay, I can't identify with you. Personally, I don't like change either. I may accept it, but my first response is to try to shy away or try to run from it. And I will confess, when I was asked to speak, I was trying my best to find someone else who could do it, even though I am a teacher. And even though Sister Sharon is a teacher. So sometimes we fear change. And we came up or identified some of the emotions that you recognize, and we place them into positive and negative emotions or feelings. So go ahead and share them with you. One, they can be a feeling of happiness, depending on what it is. You can let me know if I put up any that you disagree with. You can unmute, say yes, no, or let me know what you're not sure about. There's excitement. I think someone mentioned that earlier, especially if it's something you're looking forward to. Anticipation can be tied in with this as well. You can hardly, you're excited, but there's a little bit more. You can hardly wait. So that is where the anticipation comes in. You might not be sure what to expect, but the anticipation that can come there. Then there is wonder. You know, it is something new. It is thrilling. Perhaps you are heading off to college. You're excited, full of anticipation. Maybe you're going to study overseas. It could be a variety of things. And for some children, it might be just the wonder of going to, let's say, the ranch or the zoo to see animals. Children tend to like animals sometimes. Please let me know if you can hear me with the fan on. I turned it off, but I'm very hot. So can you still hear me? Great. And the fifth one we have here is eagerness. That is something you may experience. Is there anyone here who ever experienced any of these five as it related to change? You can raise your hand, or if your camera is on, give me a thumbs up and let me know. All righty, oh, good. I can see those.
Sister Annie, a question just came in my head, right?
Yes.
I love the story of Abraham, when God called Abraham. And for the life of me, I cannot understand how God is calling me and telling me, Sharon, I want you to come and go to a place. God ain't telling me when, he ain't telling me where, he ain't telling me anything. How do you think Abraham felt when God would have called him and he had no information? He had to go up and share faith and trust and dependence on God. How do you think he was happy? Do you think he was excited? He was in wonder, he was eager?
I think maybe he might not be excited because Abraham was willing to go. he was willing to go even though he did not know where he was going. And when he was journeying, it was not as if he was perhaps looking back, longing for what he was leaving. So I'm not sure if this is sexist, but being a man, he might have seen it as an adventure.
Okay.
That's
Because
just my
I
thoughts.
am a person, I personally do not like change. I like the familiar and the comfortable. So this is a story that always jumps out at me. And I'd be like, but Lord, you can't tell me where you're going. You just can't, you know? So that just came into my head as I see the emotions come up.
But one of the things that you said that you had to operate or move on share faith. And I guess that is something that helps us and will help us as we look at coping with change. But here are some of the emotions that I can readily identify with. I can identify with things like uncertainty and doubt, feeling that when you have something that is new. And as everyone in the group knows, we are teachers. When I first heard we had to go online, I was in the midst of studying at university. And the time seemed so short, I did not know how am I going to teach the children how to use this Google Classroom? And I don't know anything about the Google Classroom. And they're saying that teachers are trained and the parents are going to be asking me questions. What am I going to say to them when I don't know what to do? So for me, there was plenty of uncertainties and doubts arising because of that. Another thing that comes, you can have fear, you can have anxiety, and those were some of the things I identified. Then sometimes there is sadness. With change can come sadness. It could be loss, as our sister shared just now. She is learning now how to be without her lifelong partner. So there are moments and periods of sadness associated with change. There's also anger. Sometimes you're angry at the loss. Sometimes you're angry at having to move, having to change career. How many of you like being inside, enjoy being on lockdown? It's good to confess. Last year for my birthday, that was the first Sunday. My birthday was a Sunday last year. One, I did not go to church. Two, I did not go and eat my mother's food either. I stayed at home. And I had a plan. My plan was it was illegal. I didn't do it though. My plan was to leave home, and if I was asked any questions, say I was going to buy bread, I just would have been buying bread from different parishes. Anyway, the reason came, and I stayed indoors. But like someone said earlier, we don't like change, and there are things we don't like, and we get these emotions coming to us from the left, from the right. How do we cope with these emotions? How do we handle these emotions? Now, coming up, I have an activity, and adults, I'm going to ask you to please participate. So we have some coping skills here, and you don't have to turn on your camera. Excuse me, some of you may not want to turn on your camera, but I want one person to just, once you don't disturb your neighbors, to yell at somebody. I just want somebody to yell. Or you can choose anyone that is here. Might be something that I can hear, or if you have to turn on the camera so that I can see.
Annie, let me choose, because I want these to interact with us. Let's go to Kara. Kara, you're the boss of the three siblings. I want you to shout at Samuel. Let me hear now. Come, shout at him. Let's go. Let's go, Sharon. Shout and tell him something.
Pick up the toy off of the floor.
All right, pick up the toy off the floor, boy. All right, let's go now to Tony and her daughter Antonia. Tony, Antonia, mommy said something to you that you don't like. You're a teenager, right? You think you bad. Come, let me see you now. Stomp your feet inside the house. Come, let's go, Antonia. Let's go.
Nothing.
Me do what? I'm about to get my behind handed to me, thanks.
All right. I like that. Good. All right. Let's get now somebody. Samuel. Now I want you to start. You're going to knock up. Come, start throwing something in the house. Start picking up the table. Call you vex. Come. Let's go. Start beating up Samuel. Samuel.
Samuel's camera is on, so he might be showing us what he would do.
Let me see you beating up. Come beat up something in the house now. You vex.
Beating up the pillow.
All right, good. But listen, you throw that pillow real soft, boy. All right, very good. All right, continue, Annie.
Yes. So here on this screen, you'll see these things saying coping skills, yelling at somebody, pushing the other person, counting to 10, throwing something, telling yourself you can't handle it, pouting, taking deep breaths, going to be by yourself for a few minutes, trying to probably calm down yourself. So they listed them as helpful and not helpful. Now we put in that slide there because we wanted to have you interact with us. Now, this is for the adults and the children can ask, but primarily the adults. Can you tell me 3 things that are there that you do not think can help anybody cope with change? 3 things that you don't think are helpful.
Let's get Sandra. Sandra, answer one. Sandra is there?
Yes. Throw something.
All right, throwing something. Anybody else wants to give me 2 more?
Margaret, Sister Margaret.
Yelling at somebody.
Okay.
Yelling at somebody.
I'm pushing the other person. I don't think that gonna help.
They're gonna start a fight.
All right. Okay, cool. Good. So
Stomping your feet.
Yes, Judaline, I didn't hear you, sister. Sorry, Auntie, I didn't hear you.
It says stomping your feet.
Stomping.
Walk away and stomp your feet.
Walk away and stomp your feet. No, I remember when Sister Sharon and I were discussing this. Sister Sharon, I was telling Sister Sharon, I had this particular slide only to ask the little children about. And Sister Sharon was saying, but Annie, teenagers sometimes, you know, they're angry with parents, they want to slam the door, they push up their mouth. So perhaps I should make it general because sometimes these are things that young adults might do. And it is here I want to stick in a pin and say sometimes the things we practice, even when we don't mean it in a bad way, get us into trouble. You see that one pouting? I used to push up my mouth as a child. I would just be home and I remember distinctly my mother would say, why don't you stop doing that? You're going to get into trouble. She knew I was not pushing up my mouth at anybody. And one day I went to school and I did it at school and just say she was going to call my mother. I got home before the teacher and I was like, Mommy, you know, we'll say it happened. Teacher said, I pushed up my mouth at her. I said, Mommy, that is not true. I was just pushing up my mouth because it was a habit. So the aim this evening is to try to give us hopefully some things or some skills we can use that will help us, yes, with change, but will also be good practices for us. All right, so we're going to put the next segment into 3 sections. We're going to talk a little bit about 1 or 2 things we think that young children can do, some we think that teenagers can do, and some for the adults. Because we were unsure of the layout, some of them can overlap, but we hope nonetheless they will all be beneficial. So we have some small children like Adeline and we have Samuel. And one of the things children can do to cope with change is they can draw out their feelings. Get an opportunity to illustrate what it is they are experiencing. They may not be able to put it over into words. Something may be happening, they may feel scared, and they find it difficult because even though children talk regularly, sometimes there are certain things that bother children and they have a difficulty opening up. So one of the things that a child can do is to draw out his or her feelings, and that falls under the mode of art therapy. So that is something that you could encourage if you have a small child around you and they're not saying anything, for them to draw out or illustrate how they are feeling. Another thing, you can talk to your friends or your family about your likes or dislikes. Now, as a teacher, I find that children are often apt to come and they like to tell you stuff. They run a teacher, and even if you say, wait a minute, sometimes they're just bursting at times with the information and they want to get it out because they let you know, but it's important, it is real important. And to a small child, no matter what it is almost the end of the world occurring for them, and they want to be able to share. Now, we recognize that our times are changing. And because our times are changing, we have a case where the children are not in the classroom the way they're accustomed to. Some children really do miss the interaction with their friends. There are some places where you have classes and students who belong to the same year group, but they've never met. For instance, at my school, we have the reception year group. They have never met the rest of their class because one group comes Monday and Tuesday, the next group comes Wednesday and Thursday. It is only when they work online that perhaps they get to see faces of children that they don't know. So how do we help a child who is small, who wants to play with his or her friends under the guidance of...
Andrea, I would like to interject here. Please go back. Parents, you know, this is my peeve area. I am one of those parents who believe that parents should be up in their children's faces. A child never asks a parent to be born. And therefore, I am, like, let me give you an example of my son. My son is now 25. And I purpose in my heart, I used to be work, home, school. That same cycle every day for till about 18, he was 18. And we used to sit down on evenings and talk. It was it would talk. He used to tell me everything that happened at school. And up to now, I mean, he's a man, and I believe there are certain things he doesn't share with me. But even up to now, my son sits down, he discusses, he would tell me some of every kind of thing. Parents, be in your child's face. All of the parents in the background who's listening to me, be in your child's face and support your child. If your child has a problem, your child should not be going up there talking to the stranger over there. Your child should feel comfortable enough to come home and sit down and talk to you. Develop a relationship with your children. I had to get in that. Continue.
No problem. Thank you, Sister Sharon. Yes, that is important. And going on to the next point, one of the things that you can incorporate for your young child is to allow that child to, if you with incorporation with the other parent, to have a WhatsApp conversation, a video call where they get to see their friends. As a teacher, I found at the end of some of our lessons online, the children would sometimes ask, teacher, can we stay? Teacher, can we have a party? And because it was a new experience for them, I did online parties with my class. Sometimes I got a movie for them to watch. I told them to bring a snack, and I would, the same way I'm showing the PowerPoint, I would show them a video they could have on their cameras, they could be eating popcorn, and then I would find online games for them to play. Yes, it is a lot of work. Yes, you have to step out and find out, how can I do this? And you may not be both fair or comfortable. So if you're not comfortable with all of the different things, at least the video call or WhatsApp, you can allow that. And I know now we have the concerns with the Delta and the cases being spread by children, but there are still some ways that you can help maintain normalcy for a small child. And these are just a few suggestions. And as Sister Sharon said, you may have to develop games that you play with the children. Some of the things that you used to do before, you may have to bring them back so that it is something different. Because I want to advise you, don't allow them to be on the devices 24/7. Don't make the device their babysitter. So those are some things that we want the young children to be involved with. Next, we're going to go on and we're going to hopefully cater a little bit to the ones who are older, but there will be an overlap, as I mentioned. So you're a teenager, you're going through your changes. Changes are occurring. How do you cope with these? And here are a few things I want to say to you. Be patient with yourself. it is natural at this stage and at this age to feel a little bit confused about stuff. You're not sure what your life goals are, if you have a career choice. You're just thinking, I want to be young and just enjoy what is happening. But then sometimes some of you are beyond that stage and you are a bit confused. What do I do next? Antonia, are you studying or are you working? Because I know you might be 17, but you might be working or you may be studying.
I'm studying.
Okay, you're studying secondary school or tertiary institution?
Tertiary institution.
Okay, good. So can you identify with anything that I have put there, have said? Have you ever felt confused about what next, or did you think you always knew what it was you wanted to study or where you wanted to go?
Yes, I have been confused.
Okay, you have been confused. And I want to say that that is normal. I know there are times where persons say, you're 17 years old, you're 16, but you should know what you want to do. But there are persons who are 40 who don't know, or there are persons who are 40 who have been doing something for a while, and you know what they tell you? This is not making me happy. I always wanted to do X or Y or Z. So be patient with yourself. And there are two little images I put here, and I want you to remember. Your life is a garden. Tend to it with care and patience. You have to pull out the weeds, you have to turn over the soil, you have to keep checking to make sure that you are nourishing it. You need to be nourished. Teenagers need to be nourished as well. And that's one of the things we need to help us to cope with change. So please be patient with yourself. Oh, and by the way, in case I didn't say, you can feel free to stop me on any point, ask a question. If you don't agree, let me know. If you want to say something, please do let me know. Express your thoughts or feelings. And you would have seen this for the younger child. It also works for the older one. Your way of expressing may be different. I just put two, but perhaps we have a teenager or someone there in the midst who can think of something that can go here as well, because we want to learn from you as well. So you can express how you're feeling by journaling. Perhaps you can write. Some persons express through songs. They put their emotion out there in song by writing some through art. Is there anything else you think we can put here? Could be a teenager, a young adult, an adult.
Dancing your feelings out.
Dancing.
Poetry.
Yes. Poetry. Anybody else? All right, so they have those things. So yes, you just want to get it out. And the aim is to find a positive channel in which to get out how you are feeling. Because the reality is there are persons who changes are going on, or sometimes they're impacted by negative circumstances or situations, whether it be within their household or their home. It could be breakup, it could be divorce, it could be abuse. And sometimes persons don't have anyone to talk to, or they don't think they can confide in anyone, and they can switch or go to self-harming. So we want to find some positive areas in which you can deal with or cope with your change. Now, this session will allow us to touch on all areas, so we just want to highlight some as well. Right. So now we have what may seem like a contradiction. So here we have a photo. It's probably a mother and a daughter. What do you think that picture is saying? Don't mind the words I have there. What is that picture saying to you?
We're going to call this Antonia and Tony.
Yes, please. The mother is trying to discipline the child, but the child won't be a brat and not listen.
Yes. Okay, you think she's being a brat? Anyone else says opinion on that?
Or she might be like, you don't know what you're talking about. I don't even want to hear you now.
Exactly.
Okay.
Antonia can behave so in your house.
No. I walk my behind.
No.
All right, that's a good mommy. Keep it up, Tony. Keep it up.
What about the next picture? The picture to the right. What's going on there?
That's Antonia. She's married to her phone.
Everybody.
Antonia, your name is coming up regular.
Because she's at that age, Sister Annie. She is at that age.
I am
Sharon.
not married to my
I
phone.
You know what? You know why you like these slides? The way teenagers get to this age, they are neither child nor they are adult. And sometimes as parents, we still want to treat them as children, but they think they're men and women. Now, one of the problems I am having today, every social you go to, from the smallest to the oldest child, everybody had in a cell phone, and therefore communication is not there anymore. So therefore, Antonia and Kara, sometimes you need to put down your phone and talk to mommy, talk to daddy. Even in homes, parents are communicating and children are communicating with parents via cell phone in the same house, a house that got in 2 and 3 bedrooms. You understand? So therefore, the communication is breaking down. You go to a function, you go to the picnic, all the young people heads in the phone. I do not like that because I'm a person who believes parent and child should be communicating.
Yes, please. So, thank you for sharing. Communicate openly with your parent or guardian or trusted adult. I know that as a young person, it is challenging because sometimes you tend to think, oh, my mother may not understand, my father may not understand. They're real old-fashioned, they're living their ages. And the general things that probably when I was a teenager, I might have thought about my parents. But the truth is, it is wise to be able to communicate. It is wise because they've gone the path before. They may not be faced with some of the challenges that you are faced with at present, but they can lend a listening ear, they can guide you in the right direction, or they can link you with someone who may be better equipped to help answer you. And that leads us into the next point. So we want you to remember to communicate openly and find a trusted adult. No, I'm not saying that your peers are not wise or your peers may not give good advice, but your peer more often than not is on the same level as you are, faced with some challenges as well. So sometimes it definitely helps. Well, you will talk with your friends and look to your friends to communicate with your parent or guardian, or if your parent or guardian isn't someone that you can communicate, we recognize that that may be possible. Find a youth leader or a pastor, or maybe you might be comfortable with your family doctor, a trusted adult, someone that you can communicate with. Before I go to the next point, Sister Margaret, I know you gave me a time range. Shall I continue? I think I could be finished in another 15 minutes. Shall I continue?
Okay. Let's just see. Is it okay with the participants? Let's just get a reaction. It's fine with. Okay.
It's
all
okay
right.
With everyone? Okay.
Let's go then.
Okay, thank you. Another tip or pointer for teenagers is to research. As I think Antonia would have said earlier, sometimes there's confusion about, it could be career choices, what is going on. You're at the stage where your body's changing. So many things are going on. Everything is bombarded. And as Sister Sharon said, you are not a child yet, you're not adult in the sense. And then there are moments when they ask you, well, you can't, you're getting older, why you don't behave wiser? Then there are times when they want to relegate you back and forth. So sometimes you may be unsure. And then even with choices that you have to make, it is good to also research. So you have to seek out credible sources for your information, your life goals. Discuss with persons, utilize your guidance counselors where you have them. If you're in a church and you have someone in a career, take the bold step. It might be a change for you moving out of your comfort zone. Take that step to say, well, here, let me ask, what do I need if I'm thinking about doing X or I'm thinking about doing Y? So you can Do those things that help you manage or deal with the change, because the more informed you are, the more liable it is for you to make a wiser choice. When you're checking out material online, this is just a little tidbit, you can check to make sure the source is credible, look at the purpose, see if you can find out if you know the information, is it accurate, are there discrepancies in it? So these are some of the things you can look out for that help you to be more informed with your changes. Then I just mentioned this one just now, as I told you, the points overlap. Test yourself, step out of your comfort zone. And sometimes it comes with choices. I remember thinking that information technology is hard. I am not going to choose to study that because I think programming is going to be difficult. So I'm going to choose this because it's safe. Sometimes you allow some of the emotions like fear, anxiety to stop you or to hinder you from embracing change, because all change is not negative. And as you saw with the metamorphosis of the caterpillar, change can result in beauty. It is part of the process. It is part of the transition steps. So you might be asking yourself, am I going to be successful as an adult? Perhaps some of you as young mothers, or when you were young mothers, you wanted to know, was I going to be an effective parent to my child? I remember being young and asking myself, when I become an adult, will I be able to deal with the problems or the challenges that life would bring? And those are things I ask myself. And even now, sometimes it is challenging or difficult for me to step outside of my comfort zone. So it is a challenge not only for teens, but it's a challenge also for adults. We need to step outside of our comfort zone.
And Sister Annie, once again, if Abraham had not stepped out of his comfort zone, we would have never had his story of faith today.
That is so very true. If he did not step out. Okay, we have one other one that is important. This is the second last one for teens. And it says, keep a sense of perspective. Know what's important and what really matters. Keep a sense of perspective. Know what's important and what really matters. Now, I know you are here in this youth group segment. Because it is a youth group segment, I wouldn't make the assumption that church is important to everyone. I wouldn't make the assumption that all persons present are Christians. But the reality is, having Christ in your life is important. It makes a difference. All of what I said before as it relates to change, you can have all of those things in place and think, yes, everything is going well. But you see the core of who we are, that comes from God. He has created us. And no matter what we attain, no matter how successful we seem to be as we deal with change, the greatest change comes through transformation from Christ. So that is important. A lot of things will come, a lot of distractions will come. There will be some changes that honestly will not be for the better. Some may be for the worse. So that's why you have to have a strong perspective, know what really is important, weigh the pros and cons, talk with persons who may have gone before you, who have the experience.
Yes.
And above all, I want you to pay attention to this one. This is totally important. Seek God's guidance. Seek God's guidance. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, trust in the Lord with all
thine heart.
Do not lean onto your own understanding. In all your ways, in all thy ways, acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. So, Kara, if there's confusion before you, if there's uncertainty before you, you can tell God this. God, I was looking forward to being back at school in the classroom. Now I have to be online. I cannot move as fast online. I can't ask my friend to help me understand point A or point B like I would. My mother does not understand the computer as well. My device is not working. All of these are, tell God all of these things. Every single thing. about you. He's concerned with, whether young or old, he is concerned with.
That's
So those
right.
are a few pointers for you. And for the adults, what role can you play as it relates to change?
To change.
Because adults have an important role to play. And just going to share those ones with you. Be patient. Be patient, Sister Margaret, Auntie Pat, Sandra, Tony. I was trying to remember.
Christine, Jody Lynn, Rolanda.
Yes, patient. Recognize that it is a challenging or turbulent time. Whether the child is small, whether it is a teenager, or whether it is another young adult or a peer. Sometimes we need to be more patient with other individuals because we don't know all of what they're going through or all of what they are facing. So I want to encourage you to do that. Listen attentively. Listen with your ears and your eyes. Or as this picture says, listen with your ears, your eyes, your ears, and your heart. You know, sometimes the child is before you. What's wrong, Antonia? Nothing, mommy. But Antonia is now withdrawn. Antonia is sullen. Antonia, whereas Antonia was once bubbly, she's not as bubbly. She's not saying anything, but you're noticing with your eyes. You're noticing with your heart. And yes, sometimes they shut you out. You might have to keep knocking or keep trying. Even within youth group, even within church, you may notice, well, Sister John, Sister Jane, Brother John used to come in, check up on them, see what is going on. Show that you care. So I encourage you to listen attentively. Praise often. Young people can excel when given compliments or affirmation.
Yes.
Too often as teachers, you realize that children are in need of praise. Children are in need of affirmation. I've had children 5 or 6 years old telling me, teacher, my mother don't love me. Teacher, my daddy don't love me anymore. He don't come and look for me. Children do not know all the ways or all of the background workings of adults, but when they're neglected, this is how they feel. They feel a sense of rejection. So yes, children do things that drive you nuts. They really do. I had a child when I was walking, like coming home, the boy would say, that's my teacher. And it used to irritate the living daylights out of me. And I remember having to pray and I was like, Lord, it is not normal that a child telling somebody that their teacher would make them upset. But that child used to drive me nuts. And so I had to pray about it. You have to remember to praise often. Give compliments, give affirmation, find something positive. No, this is not saying don't scold, because sometimes you have to correct. But it can't be that the only thing that comes out of your mouth is that you are only quarreling or there's nothing positive to say. And over the years of working with young people, and I'm talking now within the church, one of the things I've heard is that it makes no sense talking to my mother. It makes no sense talking to my father. They are not going to listen, or they are not listening, or they think I am the worst thing out. And you know what sometimes happens? They leave within the confines of the home, within the confines of the church, and they go and they look for the praise or the affirmation somewhere else.
That's right.
That is something that could occur.
You're right. You're right, because I have a big 45-year-old who is like that. Who, mommy, you don't understand, mommy, you this. So what you're saying is true.
Okay, and no, when you said that, I'm going to tell you what jumped into my mind. I'm 43, but I remember a couple of years, I think I might have been in my 20s or 30s. I was still at home. And I remember one day saying to my mother, mommy, you have to learn how to parent an adult child. And I know this is not the session for that, but that is something that I feel strongly about. Sometimes we have to learn skills and ways in which we have to deal them with our adult children. I know that is a change too for adults recognizing, well, they're not little, because I think in my mother's eyes, I will always be her. I don't live home. She calls every day. She wants to make sure I'm up, I'm good. If I don't tell her I got home, home, sometimes she would still chat, but I still go by her and be like, if you got food, I want some. But we have to different ways of maintaining these relationships, because the older I got, the more I value my mother. And although I'm at this age, my thing is I would not want to lose my mom. I'm not sure how I would cope or deal with that loss, but thank you for sharing. Another thing we need to do is allow opportunities to vent frustration in a health. They need a healthy. They need a healthy outlet. Sometimes they need a healthy outlet. Sometimes, yes, thankfully in our society we don't have cases where students take up guns and say they're going to shoot up and blow up places. But sometimes if you see the things that children write, sometimes you realize, look, there's a lot more going on. And truth is, we know we are in a spiritual battle. We know, yes, it is a spiritual battle, but we have to allow them opportunities to say what is on their mind. And if you tell a young person or someone, say what is on your mind, don't be, as soon as they share it, start to crawl left, right, or center, because you know what they can do.
I'm not going to share, yes.
They're going to clam up. I ain't saying nothing, because all she can do is scroll or whatever. She never listen to my perspective, my point of view. So you have to allow for the forum or setting where they can do that.
Tony, you're listening, right?
Then another thing I want to suggest to you, especially now we have the pandemic times, it is important to take care of your mental health. That's one of the things that can help children, adults, whoever cope with change. Find something safe that is still pleasurable. I know it is hard. I know it is stressful. Children have fears. Some of the fears, my students, I was teaching class 2 last school year. They're afraid when their parents go to work that their parent may get sick or something may happen to their parents. They're afraid not to see their friends. They want to come to school, but they're afraid they may get sick. Those are things that I've had my students share with me. Some of them tell me, teacher, I like being online. I like watching the videos, but I miss my friends. Some of them, something as simple as, teacher, I want to sit and eat and have lunch with my friends. So these are things that some younger ones can have. I know the teens are into the technology and stuff like that, but sometimes you need wholesome interaction. You need some exercise. Find something fun that you can do. I don't know how clearly you can see this picture here, but if you look in that picture, there's someone there you may or may not recognize. And she was having a ball at the beach. Not sure if you see her.
That's me, with the little twigglies.
Yes, that is Auntie Sharon. So it may not be the beach, but perhaps it could be a hike, perhaps it could be a drive. Yes, we still have to follow the protocols and be safe, but find something that you enjoy, that is fun, even if it is reading a good book, even if it is taking up the telephone and calling someone. Find something that you can incorporate. Find something to do with your children, your teenager, the young adults that is pleasurable. And this is another one here. This is more for parents with young children. Give your child an opportunity to complete set tasks alone. Yes, you're to be here to guide, but you want your child to not be afraid of change, not be afraid of failing. There's nothing wrong with failing because you can grow from failing. But you also want to build the child's confidence that you can manage some tasks on your own. Yes, mommy, daddy will be there to guide, but you can do it on your own. For those of you who are home doing online school, please do not give the children all of the answers. As a teacher, we see 100% children at home, and then when they come to school, we want to know sometimes where the 100% child has disappeared to. So give them a chance or opportunity to complete their tasks alone. And I think this is the last one. Give children time to prepare. And this one, I'm also giving this to the teenagers separately. If you know that a change is coming, it is good to discuss. This is for teenager, discuss, research, so that you have more knowledge, so that you feel more comfortable about the change that is coming. For young children, you can begin to prepare them so that they have an idea of this is what to expect. This is what can happen. So the planning and the preparation can help them be more comfortable with dealing with the change. And most importantly, adults, pray with and for your children. Allow them to see that your dependence is upon Almighty God for help and guidance. You will be the model. You can be the model for them. And even if it seems as if they're not paying any money, they're not taking any heed, make sure yes, I want you not to give up. And I'm going to use my family personally as an example. I'm the only female. I have 3 younger brothers. My mother would hold us when we were going through the door and sometimes say, hurry, mommy. And she's going to pray for us and she want to give us a kiss and she would always perspire on her nose and be like, mommy, you put all your sweat on us. But I remember my youngest brother, he was in his 20s and he wasn't sleeping. Something the other was bothering him, different things. And so some nights I'm asleep, he would come upstairs and he would say, and come and stay with me till I fall asleep. I am not sure what was plaguing him. I would go there. Sometimes he would say, and read the Bible to me. And I remember one day he went to my mama. He said, mommy, you still pray for me? And what struck her was, those were prayers she would have prayed when we would have been going to school. And there are times we would come and we would see our mother pray. But he was being bothered and troubled. And here it was, young adult, you wouldn't think that he was going to come back and ask. And he wanted to know, mommy, do you still pray for me? Mommy, you used to walk through the house and pray. Mommy, you still do that. So don't give up, parents. I know sometimes it is hard or difficult. Don't give up. Teenagers, I know sometimes you want to, oh, she can pray forever. I know that may happen or he may pray forever. But the truth is, parents, God answers prayer. And I don't know about you, even if you don't want the prayers. I remember I went to Ghana and the lady said, when you were going, you need to have somebody who's going to pray for you. And I knew out of all the people I asked, if there was one body who was going to pray every day for me, was my mother.
Amen.
So do not negate or think it is not important. Pray for your children. Let them see and hear you pray. And they will know, even if they're uncertain, they know my mother trusted and believed in God. I didn't really understand her faith. I'm not sure. But they would remember that you did that for them. And we leave with you 3 scripture verses. So 3 encouraging verses. We had one previously from Proverbs 3, 5 and 6. Now we have Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans
I have for you, declares the Lord.
Is the Lord.
Plans to
prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Things seem grim now. Things seem uncertain. We don't know a lot of what is happening. We don't know what is going on. God is still in control. And his word does not change. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. So I want you to know God has plans for you. We can make all the plans ourselves, but God has the final say. Then I want to give you another one. Don't want you to be afraid. See that? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Joshua 1:9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. So he has a plan. He's telling you not to be afraid, to be strong, to be courageous. Wherever you go, he is going to be with you. And we can hold on and trust it. Jesus Christ. Now we've been talking about change, but God does not change. His word is not changing. Jesus Christ, the same yesterday and today and forever. Hebrews 13, verse 8. Jesus Christ, the same yesterday. Jesus Christ, the same yesterday and today and forever. Hebrews 13, verse 8. And that brings us to the end of this presentation.
I want to interject here a minute, please. I know earlier, I think it's Sister Margaret, somebody was saying about the young people, apparently they're not coming out as they should. My word of encouragement to you is do not give up. Every church now is complaining with this pandemic. We are not getting the young people. My church, Sister Annie's church, the problem is all around. But I always say, if it is one, I am going to teach one because you're going to get the blessing. So if only Kara and Samuel and Adeline come in, teach those three. You do not know where seeds are going to fall. So I am just encouraging you adults, do not give up on the children who you have before you. Do not give up on them. Thank you very much.
Before I hand over to Auntie Margaret, I almost forgot. I prepared a little quiz for you. It doesn't take long. I placed the link in the chat. So if you can click on it and you can enter in your name, you will, and this is for adults and the children. It is using an app that we use at school where we're doing online school. So if you've never been exposed to it, you get a chance. You can click on the link. Sister Margaret, I'm going to send it to you on WhatsApp in case anybody can't get it via the link. You can always forward it to them on WhatsApp. Is that okay with you? Because it can do on your phone.
And listen, usually for Sunday school, we usually have it's quiz. We usually create a quiz based on the Sunday school lesson. So the quiz has been created on what was presented tonight. Kara, I am backing you. You are the youngest here. If Samuel has a different device to get onto, I usually back the children. I am not backing the adults to win. So Kara and Samuel, I am backing you tonight to win. Do not let these adults beat you. All right, Kara, let me see you all coming out. Let's go.
Antonia is in. I'm sharing it on my screen so I can see that Antonia is in. So the rest can just click, you add it, you put in your name, you can do it on your phone.
And for you adults who do not know with this particular app, even though you get the answer right, you may not come first. It is speed and accuracy. So you have to click in your answer as quickly as possible, but it must also be right. So let's go. Well,
only Antonia is in.
Will Rolando win? Will Antonia win? Will Judy win?
We have two persons in so far. Margaret is in.
Margaret and Antonia in. Who will win tonight? Kara, come on, Kara. Get your name in. I am backing you. And there are only 10 questions, by the way.
Is there anybody else there who's going to try? Margaret, you can send it on WhatsApp to them.
Okay, no problem.
If you forward it to those who are in on WhatsApp, but I'll bring up the questions here so that they can see.
You sent it to me then, right?
Yes, I sent it to you.
Okay, we'll do so.
Okay.
I want to see Tony in, and let's see if Antonia is going to rip mommy. Let's see.
She using my phone right now, so.
Oh, you frightened? You frightened, all right. That's all
I
right.
am frightened. I'm using my phone, so.
That's all right.
Do it.
All right, can you see the quiz just now? You meant to make sure that Margaret got it. Can you see the?
Yeah, the quiz is up.
Can you post the link again, please?
Okay, let me post the link again. I'll post it in the chat.
You know, Kara and Samuel, I don't know your contact number. You know, you need to share it with me so that I don't know if y'all want.
I post it in the chat.
Yeah, Kara and Samuel, I don't have a contact for you. I need to get one sometime, please. With your mommy's permission. Or daddy's permission.
All right, I'll wait on Kara and the others so that at least they can get on.
I got it. I went in, but I didn't do anything.
No, not yet. It isn't ready. We are waiting until the others join. So right now, only Margaret and Antonia and nobody else.
So when you click on it, or Sandra is in.
Sandra is in, good. Rolanda, are you coming in?
I think Rolanda went off. I didn't think she came back on.
Okay. All right.
Sharon, I'm just waiting to see if Kara gets a chance to get in, and then I'll start it.
Yeah.
Okay, the others are in. So I think I can go ahead and start it.
Fine. Kara, I'm sharing for you and Samuel and Adeline. Okay, so let's go. I am going to read the questions for you. Okay.
You also see it on your own screen as well.
And you also say on your own screen, right? Let's go. Which word below can change? Come on, Annie. Come up. Jesus, diet, God. Click the answer quickly.
4 more seconds. We'll have to answer. Quick. All right, let's see.
Antonia, Margaret is up front. Come on, Kara.
Right.
Come on, diet is the only thing there that can change. Let's go, Kara. Let's go. True or false? Change is a shift from
one state or place. True or false? One more person to
answer.
5 seconds. Very good. The answer is true.
The answer is true. Margaret up from Kara. Okay, Antonia and then Sandra. Kara. Come on, Kara. True. Next one.
I'm having problems with my internet, so.
No problem. Understood. Janelle yells at her best friend. What emotion could she be most possibly display? Jealousy, anger, happiness, or pride? Most likely display.
Ladies, can I get this app, please? I like this.
I'll send you the sites because you can create your own questions. I'll send it to you.
Okay, Margaret. Antonia is up front now, then Margaret and Sandra. Come on, Kara. I'm cheering for you. Let's go. Caterpillars transform into
worms, birds, or butterflies.
Come on.
7 seconds. 4, 3, 2. Very good, everybody. Answered that correctly.
Butterflies is correct. Let's see who's up front now. All right. Complete this verse. Trust in the Lord with all your. You have to write the spelling word.
Don't put any full stop after the answer.
Don't put any full stop at the end. Antonia up front, then Margaret, then Sandra, then Kara and Samuel. Kara, come on. Where can I find this verse? For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper and not harm you. Jeremiah, Isaiah, Ezekiel. Antonia up front, Margaret and Sandra still there. Wow, first, second, third. Jeremiah is the answer. Who said these words? Have I not commanded you, be strong and courageous? Joshua, Moses, God.
Oh, it was God who said it. Yes.
Yes, God said that.
Said
It was
it.
God who
Said
said
it to
that.
Joshua. Yes.
Wow, and Margaret Antonia, Margaret, and Sandra still.
Oh my goodness.
Don't worry about it.
Who is this first referring to? The same yesterday, today, and forever. Jesus, Paul, Margaret, the pastor. Hasn't changed. Nobody can be Antonia. Come on.
Very good. Everybody got it right.
To our fault, we should avoid change at all costs. Right. And I think that's the last question.
No, not yet, Sharon. That's my last one.
Another one? Sorry. Tonight's topic was coping with. Ready, spelling word.
Right, don't put in any punctuation mark. Change. And the last one is not for any marks, but it's just a poll, but you can go ahead and answer it.
Did you enjoy tonight's session?
Yes,
no, or sure.
That was the last question. That one wasn't for marks. And thank you for participating.
And third place is Sandra. Second place is to Margaret and Antonia.
Congratulations, Antonia.
Wonderful. And just to let you know, generally, how the quiz normally works, because it goes by speed, it's possible that you can get all right, but you might answer slower than somebody else. So you can get them all right. And you, depending on speed, that is how it goes. So it lets you know how accurate you were, depending on your question and stuff like that. So just want to, that is the end, because we have incorporated. Just want to say, well, basically that is the end. And I really hope that you learned something along the way. We try to prepare, bearing in mind that they might have small teenagers and we didn't know who would be here. So we try to put in something for depending on who came, that everybody could still have something. Over to you, Sister Margaret.
Thank you, ladies. Wonderful. I enjoyed myself. I hope the others did too. I had a wonderful time.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I had a good time. I'm sure Adeline, did you
I'm
have
sorry I didn't get into this quiz because the internet dropping in and out.
Okay. We probably will practice it. Once I find the app, we will get more opportunities to practice the quiz because I like the graphics and the enhancements that you did in both your presentations.
Okay.
Adeline, I'm checking with the youngest. Adeline, did you have a good time? The lady got like pink.
No.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you, Adeline. And Sister Audrey, do you have a good time?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Okay, good. And Antonia, did you have a good time?
Yes. It was fun and it was very entertaining.
Okay, good, good. Okay, so we had different perspectives. So thank you so much, ladies. I'm sure we learned something. And thank you for you can see that you put a lot of effort in preparing. And I really want to thank you. It was a really good session because change is all over us and we need certainly to cope with it however we can. And so thank you so much. Thank you. I can hear the passion. I can hear the heart. And God continue to bless you. God continue to guide you. And thank you a lot. Anybody else wants to say anything?
Thank
You're
you for
welcome.
the session, ladies. It was really thought provoking, and it had something for each one of us at every level. So thank you, and God bless you both.
Thank you for the quiz.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
I just want to say thanks very much for the presentation. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think I had as much fun as the children. And the pastor was listening in the background, and he said thanks very much. He enjoyed it as well.
Okay, so we had so we can put the pastor as attending as well.
Yes, please.
So ladies, feel free to come back. I'll invite you all back whenever you want. I know it was a lot of preparation, but I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. So
thank you, and I want to thank Sister Sharon for her help and her assistance because I roped her into coming with me.
Yeah, we're happy that you did.
But as she was saying, we do Sunday school on Sunday afternoon, and the truth is, it is challenging because I know what it is to be a youth leader, and you see the young people start coming, or because you enjoy this session, and then there will be sometimes where we do certain things with young people, and it's they're not interested, and you'll be trying all types of different ways. So one thing I can tell you is, it is God who has to keep. It is God who has to keep, because sometimes you think there are so many exciting things out there, but I know what it is when there's only one, there's only two. I know what it is when sometimes it's Lord, I would really just stay home in my own bed. But that's when we have face-to-face, because it can be challenging and difficult. Antonio, continue to come out. Don't give up. I know sometimes as a young person, it can be hard. As a young lady, it can be difficult. Don't give up. Knowing God makes it different. God will help you. God, it makes different. Yes, there are times you fall and make my mistakes, and there are times where I think God must be tired of me saying sorry or coming back to him. But you know what? The enemy will always bring things to your mind to cause you to decide, what God didn't want you to come back, or you could as well quit. So don't let anyways, I don't talk.
Yeah, I recognize that every church is really going through a transforming, where, to really try to get the interest of the young people. And, this is the time when Jesus is coming back. And this is the time when you need to get more serious. You don't need people falling away. You can see God is making, getting the attention of people. And sometimes we are really getting attention of the things that's happening around us and recognizing that God is trying to get our attention. And so this is not really the time to be falling away. But, God has a plan. So thank you again. I'm going to ask Tony to pray for us this evening and pray for the ladies as they share, that God will bless them as they start back their online teaching and impacting, because these teachers not only teach to educate, but they teach for spiritual education and spiritual development. So I'm going to ask Tony to pray for us this evening.
Sure. Heavenly Father, thank you, Lord, for a session that we came to with open hearts and ready to hear from you, Lord, and we were not disappointed. Thank you for speaking through these ladies, oh God. I ask that you will bless them in a special way, Lord. I pray, Lord, that as they go back into school, whether it be online or face-to-face, Lord, you will strengthen them, Lord. You will grant them wisdom and compassion. Lord, I hear the passion that they have for these children, Lord. Even when they have doubts or fears, Lord, I pray that you will strengthen them. You will give them the knowledge, Lord, to meet each task, Lord, with the best that you have, Lord, and that you will pour into them so that they can pour out to these children, because sometimes they need them, Lord. Sometimes these teachers are the only bright light in their life. So, Lord, strengthen them when they become weak, Lord. Uplift them when things are hard, Lord. Be their strength, be the wind beneath their wings, Father. Lord, thank you for them both, Lord. And bless the others that are here, Lord. Lord, each one of us have a part to play in these children's lives. I pray, Lord, that we will we will seek one and we will reach one, Lord, even if it's just one for you, that they will come to love and know you as their personal Savior. That is each one of our heart's desires, Lord. So I pray for these children, Lord, that they will come to know you personally, Lord, and they will not let go, Lord. They will hold on to your hand and seek your guidance and seek your face, Lord, and never give up on you, Father. And Lord, when we fail, please forgive us and help us to be strong. Build us up once again, Lord, that we may continue to fight this fight and to walk this journey and to keep focused on you, Lord. Thank you for your protection so far, and I pray you will continue to cover us in your precious blood, Lord. Bless all those that aren't even here tonight, Lord. You know the reason, but I pray that you will meet each need and you will touch each heart wherever they are. Continue to provide for us, Lord, and we will continue to give you all the praise and all the glory that you truly deserve, Lord, because you're such an awesome God and we love you. In Jesus' name we pray of thanksgiving. Amen.
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 Amen. Do have a wonderful week and enjoy. Continue to be safe. God is our ultimate protector. And we can only trust in him. We do our part, but he's got to do the rest for us. Have a good night, everyone. And thanks.
Good night.
See you on next
Have a blessed
Friday,
weekend.
same time.
Good
Okay.
night. Bye.
Thanks. Thank you. Oh, Andrew, you can send me the app by the location for the app. Thanks.
Okay, no problem. It is actually a site online, so you don't even have to be on Google. It is, let me copy.
You can send me by WhatsApp.
All right, no problem. Okay.
Okay, great. Thanks.
All right, bye-bye.